log flight. Find some 810 here, doing some formation training practice. This is for the 355th Virtual Fighter Squadron. We figured we would put together this video on formation to help train the rest of the guys. So if you have any questions, just post them in the chat. We'd be more than happy to answer when we're done flying. We'll go ahead and get this show started here.
All right, unpausing.
All right. Labels. And we'll be concentrating on flying and flight of 2 gun run. Breaks over the field. Go ahead and narration to a minimum, and it'll just be flight comms from here on out. So enjoy. All right, 2's got a good jet.
All right, I'm also setting my countermeasures for 2 flares, 1 second interval, 1 cycle, just in case we need those.
Copy.
And net ID is set to the usual, just in case you want to change it, but I don't think we're really going to need it.
Okay, 2 flares, 1 second interval, 1 cycle?
Yes.
Okay, net ID set, own ID is 2, and group ID is 11.
Alright.
Chevy 2, passing waypoint 3 at 350.
Alright, I got everything set up. As soon as this AWACS gets passed, we'll go ahead and start the taxi.
2.
Springfield is RTB at 800. Passing waypoint 2 at 13,000. Uzi 3 is RTB at 800. Uzi on station at Bulls 307 for 270 at 13,000.
Alright. Brakes are set. I'm going to go ahead and run up to about 75 RPM for the taxi here, and then I'll run it down once we turn. Alright, and release brakes in brakes, brakes, brakes. Turning in 3, 2, 1, turning. Alright. Flying toe brakes and holding short. And requesting takeoff.
Panapa, infield 1-1, request takeoff. Springfield 1-1, continue taxi.
Alright.
Enfield 1-1.
Taking the active.
You are cleared for takeoff.
Left side.
30 at QFE 30.17. Springfield 1-1, unable to clear for takeoff.
Brakes are set.
Infield passing waypoint 2 at 1,300.
Alright. Running up to 80% RPM. Release brakes and brakes, brakes, brakes. And increasing power to below full.
Springfield 1-1, unable to clear for takeoff.
Nose wheel steering is off.
Springfield 1-1, unable to clear for takeoff.
140, rotating. Gear is up. Flaps up.
You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 30.17.
And pitching down just a little bit, 5-degree climb. Alright, checking left towards waypoint 1.
Hart, can you reduce your power just a little bit?
Reducing. Rolling out. Maintaining 5-degree climb. Alright, and climbing to Angels 10.
Two.
And while we're on course, 2, go route left.
2, switching to the left. Okay, 2's on the left.
Copy. And 2, go route right.
Switching to the right. Once again, the reason for this is we stay out of the lead's jet wash by flying under him and just pop up on his other side.
Infield is RTB at 3,000. Infield on station at bullseye 306.
Alright, we're at 7,000 feet and getting closer. Let's go ahead and fence in. Weapons hot.
Yep. Who's fenced in? 7.3.
Copy.
Infield in from the northwest, engaging ship at bullseye 254 for 50.
Alright, coming out of autopilot here. A little bit of a jump. And start leveling off a little bit.
What range are we going to hit the targets at? Was it 1.7 to 1.5?
Yeah, let's do the first one at that.
Okay.
Alright, leveling off. And alright, we'll get a little bit further and then we'll start a left turn to line up for the gun run.
Copies.
Alright, looking good. Coming out of autopilot. Checking left. Little bit more turn.
Copies.
Rolling out.
Ogre has eyes on target range.
Copy. Alright, one is diving in.
Two. Got the target to the north.
Copy. Guns. Pulling out.
Guns. Out.
Breaking left.
What I'm doing here is pulling 30 degrees up, flaring, and brake evasive to the right. Okay, right behind you.
Copy, I'm gonna level out here.
We got 2 for 2 in the kills.
Alright, leveled out. Angel 7, heading 195.
Copy 195.
I'll reduce speed just a little bit here, make sure you can catch up.
Okay.
Gonna be at about 260.
Okay. Pushing through 270 right now. You want to go ahead and fence out?
Yeah, we can do that.
71st TS Viper joined your channel.
Hey guys, you hear me?
Yes.
You guys want to tell guys? God damn it, my mouse. You guys want to tell these guys why you rolled in the way you did with the wing dipping and that nonsense to get the pipper in the right place when you rolled out?
Oh yeah, sure.
I just
well,
butchered it, but.
All right, now get out.
Yep.
71st TS Viper
Okay,
left your
so
channel.
when rolling into a target, be it high or low, at a low angle, this was a high angle of attack gun run. There's 2 types. There's the high angle and low angle. Low angle is from lower altitude. What we demonstrated in this one also was pulling up 10 degrees before starting our turn in. But what you want to do is pretty much, after practicing with this a while, is get the target so it's target area right above your center mirror as you're turning in. And then as you roll out, you'll find that your pipper is very close to where you need it to be, with some minor adjustments. And then once you get it sighted in the pipper, get your pack turned on about half a mile out. That'll be 0.5 away from where you intend to shoot, and do a burst of about what you go is by the distance from the target. So like you heard earlier in the stream, I said we'll go 1.7 to 1.5 on the guns. So 0.2 of a mile, let the guns fire, and once you are at 1.5 to 1.4, you'll break evasive out of there so you don't get shot up. It takes practice. Just you know, use your angle of turn, so to say, to judge your rate of descent when you're turning into it. Don't use your elevator or rudder. Try to correct. Just keep that neutral and use your elevator to pull through the turn. But the angle of your wings will greatly influence what your angle to the target is. But like I said, if you keep the target right above that center mirror right there, Should end up pretty close. It's just a matter of practice. So set yourself up with some targets. We have the 450 or 476 range objects in this map. Also, you can't destroy those, and they're great for practice. Yep, practice some low and high angle gun runs. Hart, are you up for a low angle gun run?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and demonstrate a low angle gun run here. Get turned around and do that for you guys.
I'm gonna autopilot, checking left.
You want to decrease to probably about what, Angels 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rolling out. We're about going the right way. Pitching down. We got some time, so I'll go 5 degrees down.
Okay. Play changing plans, but I figured we'd show them this as well.
Probably a good idea.
And let's do this one close in, and we'll do it on the weapons range objects, vice the BTRs. We don't want to get shot up.
Alright.
Next, we'll demonstrate the last gun run was a long range gun run. 1.7 to 1.5 are your distances for that. This one will be 0.9 to 0.7 from the target, followed by the evasive 30-degree climb and brake to the left. Do left or right, we're just doing left for this stream. It's the way we practiced.
Alright, leveling out.
Yep. Go ahead and push speed up to about 280.
Alright.
And one thing in being the flight leads position is when you have somebody following you, is you never go to full throttle unless you're in an attack run while keeping formation like this. That way it gives me, the wingman, I have room to move either forward, like I'm doing now, or back, which I already have, but I don't want to lose him, so he keeps about 95% on his engines. That way I have that extra 5% to move up front if I have to, and he doesn't outrun me. Good tip for you flight leads out there. And if you notice, we always call, the lead always calls what he's doing, so I can anticipate what's going on. Ogre has visual on the range.
Yeah, I got eyes on the range targets. Alright, diving in.
In. Go, you see we got our target right there. Bring it into the HUD. Level out. Oh no. Forget the fence in. It's alright. My guns are good. Okay. Set our pack 1.
Guns.
Pull up, pull up.
Blown out.
Guns. Who's out? Flaring. And you see they're shooting at us, so we're gonna break.
Breaking left.
Alright, right behind you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and fence out now.
Leveling out. Setting autopilot here. I'll reduce some power.
Okay. Stay speed.
It's gonna be 270.
Okay. Who's pushing through 290? Holding steady. And then for the rejoin, obviously you don't want to get back up to the lead too fast. He's doing 270, so I'm not going to want to go past 295 when I'm this close. That way I can slow down fast enough to saddle back into the formation. For the interest of time, we're flying out kind of fast so we can show you guys the formation landing, variable G brake, and the normal 5-second delay brake over the runway for landing. Okay, 2 saddle to the right.
Copy.
And I'll go landing lights on now so I don't have to mess with it later.
Probably a good idea. Alright, got the runway just off my left wing. Get a little bit further and then we'll start the turn.
Oop. Ah, shit. Wrong button. The NVG's just burned my retinas.
Alright, coming out of autopilot. Checking left. Little less turn. Little bit less turn. I'm gonna go ahead and roll out here. We'll line up a bit better. And I'm gonna start reducing power just a bit.
Oop. And that's another thing for you wingmen out there, always acknowledge your lead so he knows. You can always just say your position in flight, that way it's like gotcha. So he knows that you're smelling what he's stepping in.
Dodge 1,
Right,
airborne.
checking left.
Dodge 1, engaging bandit at Bull 306 for 270 at 2000.
Little less turn.
Okay, visual on the runway.
Yep. Little bit more turn.
Now is where things get interesting. You won't hear me talking that much because I'm fully concentrated on keeping this formation.
Rolling out. Start decreasing altitude a little here.
Okay, you want to bring the speed back as well.
Yep. Reducing. Alright, past 220, go gear down in gear, gear, gear.
Got 3 green. Oh, power, power, power. Okay, 2's back in position, thank you.
Copy. Go 1 notch flaps and flaps, flaps, flaps.
2.
And full flaps and flaps, flaps, flaps.
2.
Reducing power.
And that's the same thing with reducing to idle. He's not going to go to idle. He's going to stay a little above it. So I have that room to back off if I need. Or in too extreme of a case, you'll call for him to power like I did earlier. And obviously work your trims. You're going to need more up trim when dirtied up like this. Low. You can see I've moved in a little closer as well. That's for space on the runway. Obviously we can space it out once we get closer, but right now I'm not looking at the runway, I'm looking at him.
And I will be landing left side of the runway.
Copies, right side.
Altitude, altitude.
Viewers may be able to see my HUD, but I can't. I'm not looking at it. I'm just keeping my eye on him. So, have faith in your wingman or flight lead. Okay, a little more power here.
Flaring
Okay,
up.
spacing out to the right.
Wheels down.
Wheels down.
10 degree flaps.
Flaps.
Powering up.
Power.
$140, rotating.
2. Up.
Here is up.
Here.
Flaps are up. Reducing
Flaps.
power a little. 5 degree climb.
Spacing it back out to route spacing here.
Copy.
Okay.
Alright, maintaining 5-degree climb, checking the left.
Oop. He's maintaining a 5-degree climb. I may be up or down depending on where I'm at in the formation. That's just to keep formation spacing.
Start leveling out a little bit here. And rolling out here.
And what's the reciprocal heading of our runway?
Should be 220.
Copy 220. Reciprocal heading is basically the opposite of the direction you're going down the runway for the overhead brake. It's going to be your level out heading once you make the brake. So the first brake we'll demonstrate is the variable G. Basically we brake at the same time. To the right we'll be braking away. You always brake away from the tower. So we'll be braking to the right, and he's going to be pulling 3 Gs. I'm going to be pulling about 2, and I'm going to be coming off my power a little bit, and he's going to be staying at full power just till we get that spacing. Then we'll go around, do a touch and go, form back up, and do the standard brake for final landing. And then we will be in the TeamSpeak channel to answer questions for you guys. Or take comments, concerns, bitches, and complain.
Alright, I'm gonna start increasing power a little bit here.
Another thing with switching sides while we're on the topic of formation and whatnot, the reason we switch sides is you always want to be outside the lead's turn. Like right now I'm in position to make a left turn. If he were to want to make a right turn, he would call for me to switch over to his left. It's just a lot easier to hold formation if you're outside of the turn, vice inside. It can be done, it's just, it takes a lot more moving the stick around and trying to keep that position, whereas if you fly like this and do the turns, you can see where you need to be. Vice, you know, looking over here, you know, trying to follow him that way. We can demonstrate that. I'll go ahead and switch over to your left, Chris.
Copy.
Okay, two's in position to the left.
Alright. I think we got pretty good distance here.
Okay.
Going to come out of autopilot. And it's going to be runway 4, so checking left.
You can see how I'm kind of sliding all over the place here, trying to keep inside his turn, whereas if I was outside of it, I can tell what he's doing a lot easier. That's not to say that it can't be done. You guys can see probably that I'm moving a lot more, trying to get saddled into that sweet spot, and you have, you know, no view of, you have the profile of his fuselage, you can't see what his wings are doing. Which, on the other side, I can see everything. Tell what he's doing, how hard he's turning. This is pretty much reactive. The other one is proactive. Formation flying.
Little bit less turn here. A little bit more turn. Rolling out. Correcting a little bit right.
I just had a question on the stream. What would you do in a 3-ship? Like I said, this can be done if you want to keep the Vic formation, but from my experience in the Navy, working in the aviation field for so long, the pilots will, every time I've seen them doing turns and, you know, heavy turning and everything, it's echelon formations. The only time I ever seen them do Vic formations was return from deployment, going over the airfield with 8 some odd planes. But being out on the carrier, all that, seeing all the planes approaching the land, echelons. So you want to make a left turn, go echelon right. You want to make a right turn, go echelon left. It may be different, but that's my experience in the military, being what our pilots were doing. And obviously in a combat environment, in hostile territory, you won't be in this close of a formation. You'd spread it out. All right. Is ready for the break.
Copy. Alright. I think we're about over center. Braking in 3, 2, 1, break.
Okay, and there he goes. I'm bringing my power back a little. And we're turning to heading 220.
220.
And you can see how that spaced us out. And I'm continuing to decrease my power so I don't run into the back of him. Once I hit 220, I'm going to drop my gear.
I'm reducing power now. Overturn just a little bit.
Okay, let's go ahead and turn back in.
Turning in. Gear is down.
Turning base for final touch and go.
Full flaps.
Say speed.
190. Reducing now.
Use the full flaps. I got another question on how does a 3-ship change from echelon right to echelon left? What it's going to be is the third plane in the formation is going to switch over first, and he's going to leave a lot more space than when you tighten up the formation. He's going to leave space for 2 to jump into the 2 position on the left, and obviously same way for switching the other way. 3 goes first, and then 2 goes. With 3 leaving that space out, and I'll demonstrate that when I form back up here.
One wheel's down.
Okay, just keep your keep about 220 and runway heading. After you take back up, I'll form up with you.
Copy. Powering up. $140, rotating.
Down. Rotate. Here. Flaps. Stay speed 1.
220.
Okay, I'm at 256, pushing to 260. I will slow down. Go ahead and turn left. I'll cut your turn back out to sea.
Copy. Shaking left.
And here's a quick way to catch back up if you're trailing. Your wingman's doing a turn, or the lead is doing a turn, cutting inside of his turn to increase the distance between us a lot quicker than trying to follow and catch up. And you see I'm a lot closer to him now than I was 20 seconds ago. Alright, Chris, just keep it steady there. I'll demonstrate an imaginary 3-ship formation. What's your speed?
230.
Okay. Alright. Okay, so we're chugging along in our 3-ship. Just imagine that there's another plane in here between us. Okay, so the wingman calls, or the flight lead, gonna call, flight, go route left. Okay, so me being in the 3 position, I am gonna cut under 2 and 1. Heading over here, level out, and boom. Now you see I've given plenty of space for number 2 in the flight to get saddled up to 1. And when they call saddled, 2 is going to call saddled with 1. I'm going to come over, and we'll just say that Hart is not flight lead right now. He's number 2 in the flight. There's an imaginary flight lead. So he's formed with the flight lead, flying along. 3 is going to come in and form up on his left. And boom, we are back in formation. Saddled. Once you're saddled, you call. 2 saddled. And I'll go ahead and switch back over to the right. So that's how to do a 3 or 4 ship echelon switch.
Alright, I'm gonna increase power a bit here.
Okay, 2.
About 90 RPM. Alright, we'll get to about 10 miles out and then turn left for the overhead brake.
2.
Engaging autopilot. Checking left. Little bit more turn.
From here I can see a lot better his angle of turn, how many G's he's pulling, so it's just easier to do turns outside of them if you're the one.
Little less turn.
Copy.
Little less. Little more turn. Rolling out.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the left since we're going to be braking to the right.
Copy.
Position to the left. I think we want to be at a 215 heading reciprocal.
Yeah, about that. Alright. Braking in 3, 2, 1, braking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2's braking. I don't want to push my wings over too hard, otherwise I'll lose altitude. I want to try to keep my altitude as level as I can in this brake, just using turn to hill snare speed. Okay, and see, I'm right behind flight lead. And I'm basing where to level out based on his aircraft. I want to stay directly behind him.
Correct a little bit left here. Reducing power.
Got 220 gear.
Turning towards final.
Passing waypoint 2 at 22,000.
Turn into final.
Altitude, altitude.
One wheels down.
At the numbers. Wheels down.
Brakes are in, flaps are up, taxiing to the end of the runway. Applying tail brakes. And turning left.
Enfield 1-1, taxi to parking area. Springfield 1-1, taxi to parking area.
Clear the active. Off your right.
Alright. Be turning off here, so, get a little ahead of you.
Okay, yep, I'm backing off.
Turning right.
Oh, too fast.
Had to make sure I didn't hit you.
If anybody's curious, we are using Dive Plane's unofficial sound pack. A lot of the sounds in DCS, and it's well worth the download, and it's free as well. I think you can find it at lockonfiles.com. Or correction, that's at ED Forums. Just search for Dive Plane's unofficial sound pack. 0.9 something. A little bit of a circus here. Hopefully I don't hit this. Clear, just clear by inches.
Alright.
Hang on a second.
Oh?
Don't shut it down just yet. We gotta do our usual ending. We like to have fun. I don't think I liked how you flew lead.
Can't get the ground safety off. Perfectly fine.
I'm bailing.
This thing is so hard to click. I really should bind that or something. Oops. I'm perfectly fine.
Bail out, man. You can't save them all. There you go. All right, and that is it. Thank you for watching. More questions, so we will be in the teams league for the 355th guys.
Shutting it down.